My Hero Academia. Boy, oh boy, this episode 5 of season 2 was just so good. I had to stand up. I have to compose myself because I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. Who would have thought that a Calvery battle between superpowered people would just be so exciting to watch? All I have to say is, Season 2, ever since the sports festival has started, has just been enjoyable to watch. I have loved every episode with all of our main characters with Deku, Ochako, Ida, Todoroki, Bakugo. All of these characters interacting within the sports festival has just been so much fun, and I just love watching this series, and there is just so much to go over. So many good, hyped moments from this Calvery battle between Bakugo going up against Monoma, and then Todoroki going up against Deku. So many good stuff. I'm just gonna compose myself right now, and then we're just gonna continue on with this review. Before I start, guys, hope you guys are having a great Saturday so far. I also just got done watching Attack on Titan, which was very good as well, but My Hero Academia, so enjoyable to watch. So the main topics I want to talk about for this review go around Monoma going against Bakugo, but then also Team Deku going up against Team Todoroki. So much good stuff to talk about there. First off, Bakugo versus Monoma. Very interesting and very cool to learn of Monoma's quirk, because I think for anyone that doesn't really know what power they want to choose from My Hero Academia, this is the best one to choose because his quirk of copying other quirks is really cool. And I love how they describe it to where, he can take in a power, but then once he touches a person, he takes in that other power, but can't hold up to 2 at a time and has this power for 5 minutes. Very cool power. It reminds me of Rogue from the X-Men because her power is very similar to this, where she could touch a person, absorb their mutant power, and she is able to use that for a limited time also. So I can definitely see some Marvel superhero powers being influenced into the series. It's very cool to watch, but Monoma is basically poking the bear throughout this entire episode because he is playing with fire with Bakugo because he is pissing him off to no end. He is basically, saying it's like, oh, you're that kid that got captured by that slime monster. You should tell me about it sometime. The face that Bakugo is making, just how pissed he is very hot-headed, and it does not take that much to get him going. And he is absolutely throbbing to kill this guy. Like, he just wants to kill him. It's just so funny just to watch Bakugo actually, just get so pissed at Monomo. But what I love about this section too is that even though he's getting so pissed at Monomo, he actually does compose himself enough to actually implement a strategy by using his teammates to get him close to Monoma to where he's actually able to steal 2-point headbands. I would never have thought to see Bakugo actually using his brain in battle. He's more of a brawn over brain type character, but the fact that he actually composed himself and actually utilized his team and their quirks so that way he was able to actually obtain some points, I gotta commend Bakugo for this because that was absolutely amazing to watch. It was very good, and the voice actor, I watched this sub, I love the voice actor for Bakugo because the anger and the frustration in the voice just sounds so cool. But I just gotta say, all of that is just so cool to watch. He ends up getting the headbands and then immediately tells his team, let's go. We're going after 10 million. Let's go find Deku and Todoroki. So this is where we're going to have to go into more of, just Deku versus Todoroki because we learn some important parts of certain people's quirks within this section as well. First off, Tokoyami. He is MVP of this episode for what he ended up doing for Team Deku to actually make them, at the end of this episode, qualify into the next round. But learning about his shadow quirk, how it is more effective at night, it's actually more docile during the day, but when it becomes night and dark, its power grows, but he's unable to control it. So that's very interesting to see as well. But Ida's power that he implements in this episode to where he just goes into overdrive, turbo mode, and then ends up, taking Todoroki to the point to where he's able to steal the points off Deku's head. I was like, yo, what the hell is this? I was hyped at that moment because I was like, yo, Ida, you are showing us right now that why you said that not only is Todoroki and Bakugo going to be rivals to Deku, but you as well. That was awesome. And I love how the announcer was like, man, if he's been holding this back, why didn't he use that during the preliminaries? But I like how it does come with a cost because sure, he can go into turbo mode, but then it just exhausts his quirk to where he's unable to use it for a certain amount of time. So I totally get why he actually kept this hidden and didn't use it during the preliminaries. But then all we have is this all-out battle now between Todoroki and Deku, and I love how Deku does use his quirk in this battle, and it pushes Todoroki to the point to where he goes back on his promise and he goes to use his fire quirk against Deku. But the way Deku uses his power, you know, he swipes the arm away with the air, ends up getting Todoroki wide open, and ends up going for some points. I kind of find it odd that he only went for 1 point. Like, if I was Deku, I would have gone for as many of those points as possible, but he just wanted to go for the 10 million, so he only went for 1, which I don't really see the logic in that. I would have grabbed as many as I could, you know, hoping that would get all the points back, but Deku just wanted to go for the 10 million. I completely understand that, but ends up only going for 70 points. And then we're just left with that climactic end with Team Todoroki, Team Bakugo, and Team Deku going at each other, trying to obtain the 10 million points. And I love how it just ends as they're about to collide and they're just so pissed that the time limit is over. I got a good laugh at that, just watching how pissed Bakugo was. And then we end up getting, you know, the final 4 teams of the total points of who's going to be moving on. I actually wrote them down right here. We have in first place, Team Todoroki. Second place, Team Bakugo. Third place is actually a big surprise because Shinzo, the purple-haired guy that looks very tired, just comes out of nowhere and just obtains the 3rd spot position for his team. I'm very interested to learn more about his character because I don't think we've actually witnessed his quirk yet at all. It's got to be something very good because his team looked quite puzzled, so I don't really know what's going on with Shinzo, but he got 3rd place. And then, out of nowhere, Team Deku got 4th place thanks to Tokoyami. He is MVP this episode. Like, what he was able to do with Deku, you know, distracting Todoroki, he was able to use his shadow power to obtain other points to where he got over 600 points on the headband, and it pushed Team Deku into the lead. I was like, yo, Tokoyami, you are just climbing up the ranks as one of my favorite side characters of this series right now. And that's what I love about this series. So many good side characters that there's just too many to choose from. So I absolutely love Tokoyami. He came in clutch for Team Deku, and it ended up pushing them into the next round, which I absolutely love. But I gotta talk about the cliffhanger because the next episode I feel is gonna be a very conversation heavy episode, at least the first half, I bet, because we're gonna have Deku talking with Todoroki, and then we're also having All Might talking with Endeavor. So I like the parallels that this is setting up because you have Deku, the apprentice of All Might, and then Todoroki, the son of Endeavor, you know, having a conversation. But then you also have the #1 hero All Might talking with the #2 hero Endeavor. You know that there is going to be some words said in these conversations. I'm more interested in All Might and Endeavor, but also the Todoroki and Deku conversation I'm looking forward to as well. But that cliffhanger leaves us with a lot of questions that I know will be answered in the next episode. But overall, guys, I loved this episode of My Hero Academia. I definitely want to hear your thoughts of what was your experience like watching this episode? Were you hyped just watching all these characters trying to get as many points as they could? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you guys are fans of My Hero Academia and just want to talk as each episode comes out, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I would love to talk with you guys. This is such a fun series to watch for me, and I really can't wait to see what else this UA Sports Festival is going to have to offer, because what I'm really looking forward to is that one-on-one fight between Deku and Todoroki. I can't wait for that. So, end of this review, guys. I look forward to talking with you in my next episode review of episode 6. So, until next week, I'll talk with you guys then. Alright, guys, plus ultra. See you later.